Here's a GRE arithmetic question. Let's take a look. So we have two quantities that we need to compare here, quantity A and quantity B. Quantity A is the number of integers between 100 and 500 that are multiples of 11, and quantity B is 36. So basically, we need to figure out how many multiples of 11 there are between 100 and 500 and decide whether that number is greater than, less than, or equal to 36. Well, first things first, right up front, we can eliminate one of these answer options, right? Which one of these four can I eliminate? D. Because I may not be able to figure out how many integers there are, but I do know that that number exists. There are a certain number of integers between these two that are multiples of 11, and that number is either going to be greater than, less than, or equal to 36. So it will be able to be determined. I may not be able to determine it. So I'm down to a one out of 3 shot. But let's actually solve this problem. The way to do this is to consider the lowest and highest multiple of 11 in this range. So this is where your calculator comes in handy. You'll always have access to a calculator on the GRE, and you should absolutely use it. So what is the smallest multiple of 11 in this range? I'll let you do this on your own time, just for the sake of efficiency. Well, the smallest multiple is going to be 110, right? And the largest multiple is going to be, double check this, 495, right, is the largest multiple of 11. Okay, and just to sprinkle in some color, maybe I'll add in a few more multiples here. So add 11, I get 121. Add 11 to that, I get 132. And I'll just say ... a bunch more multiples. And then down here on the bottom end, it is 484 if I subtract 11. Okay, so now comes the task of counting all of these multiples. You could write them all out. Not the end of the world, but that's going to take a lot of time, right? Instead, here's how I would approach this. I would scale things down. And this strategy is very, very helpful on these questions where they're asking you to deal with a huge set of numbers, right? This is a very large set of numbers. Let me divide each one of these by 11. What happens when I do that? 110 divided by 11 is 10. 121 divided by 11 is 11. 132 divided by 11 is 12, and on and on and on. And up here, when I do 495 divided by 11, that is 45. There we go. And 484 divided by 11 is going to be 44. Okay. And if you're wondering why this works, consider this. I haven't changed the number of numbers that I have, right? It's the same number of numbers. I've just divided them all by 11 to kind of shrink it down and make it a little more manageable. So how many numbers are there from 10 to 45? How many numbers are there from 10 to 45? You might say 45 minus 10 is 35, but not so fast. This is a formula that you need to know. When I want to count the number of consecutive integers, here's the formula. Last minus first plus 1. So it's going to be 45 minus 10 plus 1, or 36, meaning that these two quantities are equal. Now, if you don't buy this formula, or if you don't quite understand why I need to add this one back in, consider a much smaller list. How many numbers are there from 1 to 3, right? 1, 2, 3. I can count. There are 3 numbers. Well, that's 3 minus 1 plus 1, right? So the formula to count the number of numbers is last minus first plus 1, but that's only for consecutive integers, so I need to scale it down first. The correct answer here is C. For more GRE tips and tricks, or to sign up for my online course, follow the link on my profile.